Hello everybody, my name is Jason Lee. I am with nextlevelguitar.com, and David has invited me out to check out some of my guitar collection. This one right here is a 2007 Gretsch 6120 RRH. The RRH stands for the Reverand Horton Heat model. I was always a big fan of his, and for the longest time I was hoping he'd come out with a guitar, and he finally did. So I'll go over some of the attributes of it. This has the standard Bigsby Vibrato tailpiece. One of the neatest things about this is this actually has the 1955 style tremolo arm, which I like quite a bit if you're doing any heavy bending on the vibrato. It really helps out quite a bit to stay in tune. Oversized spring as well, so that's going to help out quite a bit with long shows and really just a lot of bends. This is actually a laminated maple body with a nitro cellulose finish. So one of the cool features with this is that it actually creates more sustain, doesn't block the sound as much, and overall it just has a really pretty look. If you're really into the Gretches or other guitars with the nitro finishes, it's pretty well sought after. So also has the overbound F-holes, which I like quite a bit, with the black and the white binding. Another feature I like that this Gretsch, as well as a few others, Brian Setzer model has it as well, but this actually has a pinned bridge. So if you hear it right here, when you're doing a bend right here, this actually wants to move quite a bit. So what a neat feature with this is that it actually has pins that are drilled through the top of the wood and in the bridge. So what this is going to do for you is keep it locked. So if you're doing heavy bending and nothing's really going to move on, it's going to move just enough to where you can stay in tune. And another feature too is that when you're restringing your guitar, it's actually just going to keep it in place. So you can completely take this off if you want. Just remember what direction your bridge is supposed to go in and put it right back on the pin. So any other floating bridge is just going to move around. You're going to have to tape it down. So this really locks it in. These are probably my favorite pickups that are in any Gretsch. These are TV Jones wound pickups. Tom Jones was originally Brian Setzer's tech, and then later on ended up signing on with Gretsch to create his pickups in these guitars. So quite a few of the models out now have the TV Jones pickups in them. The Brian Setzer, the Reverend Horton Heat, some of the new anniversary models, and a few Falcons. So what's neat about the TV Jones is they're pretty much, this is his classic design. I think this is his model of what a Gretsch pickup sounded like back in the day, definitely in the 50s. You can kind of hear the brightness of them even in the middle position. So real smooth and pretty. Something I just really love about these pickups. Some of the other Gretsch models that I've had sound a little bit too deep and a little bit too bright, and you can't really find that medium. His already have that medium sound already included when you get it with this guitar. So another thing I loved. One thing I'll move on to that I really wanted to clarify is that the way these pickup switches work, it always seems to be a untold story that everyone kind of gets a little bit scared when they try and pick up a Gretsch and they don't really know what's happening. So I'll go over that right now. The Reverend Horton Heat does have a particular setup, but it is pretty standard to a Gretsch setup. So this is going to be our three-way selector switch. This position, you just knock it up, it's going to run just the neck. You run right in the middle, and you're going to get both pickups, and run it at the bottom, and you're going to get the bridge. You do get a pretty good balance of sound, so we'll try the neck right now. Okay, we'll try the same run, but in the middle. Okay, a little bit smoother, and I'll try the bridge. So you can really hear the difference right there. It's really going to get a little bit of a treble bite to it. Great for soloing, so you can imagine going, definitely for using this as your rhythm control, and this is your little bit of a bite for the hot sound for a solo. Definitely a lot of the guys in the rockabilly scene are doing that right now. It's easy to hit, so you can be playing a rhythm. Back to rhythm. Now, one thing that's really nice about this is this actually has a three-way selector switch that has tone caps built into the middle of it. So the way this works is this is definitely your main pickup selector. This is what you want to be using all the time, but this actually designates the main tone of the guitar. So when you go into here, this has a little bit of a high cut on it, and it's about a medium level. Okay. Then when you go to the middle, the one thing I like about this Reverend Horton Heat model is it actually cuts this tone circuit out of the unit itself. So one thing that Brian Setzer made popular was most Gretsches had two selector switches. It kind of confused people and was a little bit harder to play live. He pretty much had his taken out. This still has it, but if you go in the middle position, it takes this completely out of the circuit. So, like we said, back in this position, it's going to be about a medium level on the output with about a high cut. So it takes off a little bit of the shrilly highs. This is going to be completely clean to where you can just use this. And then down in the bottom position, it's going to be a high cut, but at a low volume. I'll move on now to the knobs themselves. This is set up pretty standard. Most Gretsches have a master volume switch, and then these are your actual main volumes for each pickup. The reason they actually do it is that this is your master main, this is your master neck. You can actually blend them and then be able to move a volume while you're playing live. So we'll try that in a second. So if you watch, I'll set it up where it's just your standard volume. We can leave this in the middle. Once you're in the middle, you can use both of these at once. So if you hear it with a swell, okay, so now we're actually controlling what we have set right here just with this volume. So now we can do the same thing. We can leave it in the middle, but if we want, we can back the highs off just a little bit by bringing down this pickup. So now we'll try it with the master again. So now you can hear the natural low end, and that's particularly a setting that I like quite a bit. The inlays, while it's just aesthetically pleasing, it is really fun when you're purchasing a high-end guitar that you can have something as cool as this. So if you can see right here, these actually have different Western motif inlays that I really enjoy. It has fence posts, steerhead, and cactus just going all throughout. And one of my favorite things about this model itself is that, from what I know, this is one of the only models that they have right now that has the inlay but with an ebony fingerboard. One other thing I wanted to go on to too that really helps this guitar stay in tune the most, that something you might want to consider modifying if you do have a Gretsch that doesn't have them on it, is actually going to be the tuners themselves. So these are actually Spurzle locking tuners. You can see them right here. The way this works is this has a wheel that locks the string into place, and pretty much just keeps everything locked into tune. If you've ever had a guitar or a tuner that actually gives you quick high pitch or quick low pitch when you're going up or down, this pretty much eliminates that. So I'm going to start out with the neck and play something pretty smooth and simple. Now I'm just going to try something in the middle position, maybe something a little bit faster, just a little bit different style. So. Now I'm going to go into the bridge position and try something a little bit more lead based. So. And this is Jason Lee from NextLevelGuitar.com. I just want to say thanks for having me out. Stay tuned for the next lesson with NextLevelGuitar.com.